I love Genshin Impact. No joke, I've probably put over 200 hours into this game. In fact, over my last Christmas break, that's pretty much all I did every day. I love how beautiful it is, how much fun content there is, how enjoyable it is to explore this world, and let's be real, those top tier waifus. I don't know how, but Hoyoverse keep topping themselves with new character designs. I mean, have you seen their upcoming character, Yelan? Oh my god. Anyways, recently update 2.6 came out with a brand new area and events, and I'm just hooked all over again. And coincidentally, I was asked to make a video about this update, and I'm like, you want to pay me to talk about a game I'm already playing? Alright. So this video is sponsored by Genshin Impact. Now before I talk about the new update, I want to give a brief overview of the game and my team setup in case you've never played Genshin Impact before or it's just been a while since you've played. So Genshin Impact is an open world RPG. There is co-op available, but this is totally a single player experience first. There's an absolutely massive world to explore with tons of cool ways to traverse it, like running, gliding, and climbing pretty much anything you can find. And what blows me away is the insane amount of content in this game. Of course, there are daily quests, but there's just tons of new story quests that are coming out all the time, regular updates with unique events, which I'll get to shortly, and just all of the emerging gameplay experiences that you can find just by exploring the world. And this world is absolutely massive. There's a bunch of huge zones, all with unique architecture and landscapes and culture. I just have fun just walking around and looking at the different environments and the different buildings and things. It's just really gorgeous. Now the combat itself is a 4-party system where you can swap to different characters on the fly, and each character has a dedicated element and weapon type. Now what's really cool about having these different elements is they react together in fun ways. So for my personal team that I use most often, I have fire and electricity that work together to make explosions. Now there are tons of characters in this game with different elements, and there's so many different fun combinations you could put together, and that's what I love about Genshin Impact so much, is there are just so many different ways you can play this game. Now my current team that I have right now is made up of Xiangling, Bennett, Faisal, and Qiqi. Now the kind of core gameplay loop that I have is that, I'll have Bennett come out and build up some energy with his abilities. Xiangling's just dealing damage. She's got her, spinning pyro tornado, and then Faisal will come in with her Raven and just electrify and just blow everything up. And then Qiqi's mainly just there to heal, as she's a really strong healer. Now I do have a bunch of other characters that I'm working on and trying to build other teams, but for now I just have these 4 characters that I use most often. Now, a few of my favorite activities in Genshin Impact are the daily quests and exploring. Now, I like the daily quest because it feels like you accomplish something even if you don't have a lot of time to play every day. Sometimes it's been a long day at work and I just kind of want to hop on and get a few quests done, so it feels nice to be able to do that kind of quickly and get some good rewards with Primo Gems, Battle Pass experience, and honestly, it's just fun to do. And as far as exploring goes, there's always something to find in Genshin Impact. Whether you're just running around, there's always chests in the world and monsters you have to defeat to unlock the chest. Or sometimes you just happen upon them, like this one in Inazuma. Honestly, I was just following the water because I thought it looked pretty, and boom, I found this chest hidden under this bridge right here. And also there's these viewpoints all over the world where the game will take a picture for you and you just get a great view of different parts of the world, whether it's parts of the city or a pretty building or something. I just love taking pictures around the world and getting these viewpoints. And one of my favorite things to do in games is take advantage of unique movement mechanics. So one of my favorite things to do in Genshin Impact is to climb to something high and jump off and just see how long I could glide for. This world is just so beautiful, and it's awesome that you can get a glimpse of it in so many cool ways. Now, if you want to try Genshin Impact for yourself, it's available for free on PC, PS4, PS5, iOS, and Android. I'll leave a link in the description and as a pinned comment if you want to try it for yourself. Now let's dive into this brand new update with all the cool new content they have. Now, probably the most enticing thing about this new update is the new area, the Chasm. Now, when you go there for the first time and you kind of unlock all the map, you might say to yourself, this seems kind of small. However, once you progress the new quest line, there is so much more to this area than you think at first glance. Now, once you unlock it, there is a giant underground cave system with all kinds of cool quests and new mechanics. Now, unlocking the Chasm was actually really fun. There's these unique mechanics where you have to knock down these pillars that are scattered all over this area. And because the combat and exploration is so much fun, it was cool to go around the area, fight the enemies, and just actually unlock the chasm. I had a good time doing that. Now, once you finally do get down there, there's tons to do. Honestly, I played for hours and I barely scratched the surface. Here's a quick look at my map, and as you can see, I've barely got anywhere after playing for hours and hours. And weirdly, in this new area, one of my favorite things is just collecting the new crystals and ores. Scattered all over the place are these like floating crystals, and then you can also get ore from either from enemies or just things around the environment, and you can turn them into your base camp to upgrade your light that you carry around. Now, essentially, you have charges in this light to kind of light up beacons because it's a little bit dark down there, and the more you upgrade your little lighting system, the more charges you have for it. You don't necessarily get a ton of rewards, but it just felt really satisfying every time I upgraded it. Now, I don't want to spoil anything more about the area itself and what you can expect in the questline, so I'll just let you check that out for yourself. Now, aside from the new zone, there's tons of new events and tons of cool things that came with this new update. First is an event called Clash of Lone Blades. Essentially, you're fighting this kind of Ronin character. It's one-on-one sword fights, and it introduces a parry mechanic. So once you do this, you get rid of all your elemental abilities. It's just you one-on-one with your wits and your sword abilities. Next, for you chefs out there is a new cooking minigame event called Spices from the West. Essentially, you have to put a certain amount of ingredients into this spice pot, and once you do it, then you win. So for those of you that like cooking in Genshin Impact, there is a whole new minigame waiting for you. Now, my personal favorite part of the new update is the new boss, the Ruin Serpent. Now, at first, it kind of burrows up and down, and it seems like a typical enemy that just kind of burrows a lot. However, it drops these little slime piles all over the place, and you can take advantage of the new light mechanic that I mentioned earlier to get rid of these little slime piles. It's a really unique mechanic that is new to the game that you just can't find in any of the other enemies right now, especially the big bosses. And overall, it has a lot of health, so the challenge is pretty balanced. Now, you're probably not gonna have too many characters die, although I did, but overall it's a balanced challenge. You'll get some good rewards, and there will be some items that we don't know what they're for just yet, but to me it's good to build these up because you never know what character might need them down the line. By the time this video comes out, the current character on the Wish banner will be Kamisato Ayaka. Now, this is the first time they're rerunning her, so if you missed her the first time around, make sure you get your Primo Gems all built up and get your wishes going before she's gone by May 10th. Now, I gotta say, overall, this is a really fun update. It's always cool to get a new zone because we don't get those all that often, and it's very different from the zones that we've got in the past, so I like that a lot. There's also a bunch of really cool events and totally brand new mechanics that they introduced to make this new update really interesting and fun. And if I can be real for a second, I never play live service games. For whatever reason, they just lose my interest or I get bored, but I always find myself coming back to Genshin Impact again and again. It's just such a joy to play, has a super fun gameplay loop, and has so many fun characters. I just love collecting them all. And how they continue to update this game amazes me. It's like a great single player game that just never ends, and I love that. Thanks once again to Genshin Impact for sponsoring this video. To try Genshin Impact for yourself, please click my download link in the pinned comment or in the description to start playing today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.